Today we're making the ultimate snack. Homemade potato chips!
Thinly sliced russets, fried to perfection.
All they need is a little salt for pure perfection.
Oh, serve them with a sandwich or your favorite dipping sauce.
Oh my goodness, these are the real deal.
I know, set those in front of me and it'll take 5 minutes to finish them.
Are insanely, it's amazing the difference between these and a bag.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
yes.
let's talk potatoes. So russets are the way you want to go. They just make the best chips, and they're affordable. And so, but there's a few things we got to do to them to get them ready to make them really perfectly crispy and not greasy.
Super crunchy.
Yeah. So first, we're going to start by slicing them, and we want them really nice and thin. So I used my mandolin on the thinnest setting. It was like a 1/16 of an inch. So you could use, Wesley asked, could you use your food processor? Yes, you could do that, but you're not going to. I did them lengthwise, so you're going to get kind of chips in this shape. And you could also get a nice sharp knife and just try your best to make them as thin as possible. But a mandolin is one of those things that every home cook should have, and you use them for so many things. I've got a link to it, and they're not expensive.
Yeah, you can get like a cheap one and just
and I've had mine literally. I got it as a gift back in the '90s, and it's when it was cheap then.
So, and it's still sharp as a tack.
It really is. Okay, so I did that. This was probably 3 to 4 russet potatoes, depending on how large they are. And now you want to get rid of that starch. So what we did was we went over to the sink, and I just filled the bowl with water with the potatoes, and kind of tossed them around with my hands. And then you're going to see the water looks kind of starchy. So just put your hand on the side and let that water drain out. Repeat that. Do it again. If you do that after about 3 times, you'll see that the water remains clear. That's what you want.
Up, yeah.
So you got all of that starch out of there. Okay, so then we put them in a colander, put them back in this bowl. Now we're ready to do another trick. So I'm going to add more water, and this you just add it until you fill it up, and try not to get water all over the place besides in the bowl. And then, now this is the other trick. This is just 2 tablespoons of distilled white vinegar. What that is going to do, it just continues to help remove the starch and the sugars from the chips. And you just kind of toss it around. It's going to distribute, and that will just continue to make. So when these hit the oil, they fry up so beautifully, and they're so crisp.
I'm always afraid of my, even like with my French fries, them not being as crispy as
I know.
But that little trick, what he just did.
It really works. And then you got to get them can the other.
Okay, can we talk about the dipping sauce?
Let's talk, because we're going to let this sit. This needs to sit in the vinegar water for 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. Okay. Okay.
Yes. All right. So one of our favorite dipping sauce is Cajun style remoulade or remoulade. Remoulade.
However you want to say it.
Anyway, so and it's great with these chips because it's nice and I love a little heat to it. It's so good. All right, so I got a cup of mayonnaise, and then I have 2 tablespoons of stone ground mustard.
Yeah.
And then I've got some ketchup here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna save that hot sauce for last. I've got 2 tablespoons of ketchup.
This makes the best dipping sauce.
It's so good. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of chopped scallions.
That's like 2 scallions.
Love it.
Chopped. Yep.
You love it. Then I got some parsley, 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley.
That's Italian parsley. You could use dried if you want to.
Okay, and then I got 2 cloves of garlic. This is how fast this is.
And and you can make this.
I think the prep takes longer than this.
It does, and then you can make them, and then you can make this way in advance.
And then I've got a tablespoon of teaspoons of 1 teaspoon of black pepper, teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a teaspoon of Cajun. I knew it. And I'm going to throw those all together. And last but not least, your hot sauce. Now, Tabasco is good because that's from Louisiana, and this is a Cajun style remoulade.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put, you can put like a teaspoon in here, but I like to make it a little.
Depending on how spicy you want.
I like it spicy.
Yeah, he does.
A little more. There we go.
Usually just a few dashes are good. And then you whisk it together. This is so good on so many things. Obviously, it's great for a dipping sauce. We also use it as a dipping sauce for like our homemade steak onion rings.
Oh
Really good.
gosh! And on the, did you say the po' boy?
We put it on our fried catfish po' boy.
Oh, everybody loves that catfish po'
and it's
boy.
good on a burger. It's good. I mean, you name it.
Yeah,
okay,
it is
that's
so
good.
It's great for chips.
It is great for chips. So speaking of chips, we're
Look
going to
at
let
that,
these
you guys.
hang out. We're going to let those flavors meld for about an hour in the fridge while we fry these up. And then when we come back, we are going to be making homemade potato chips.
Yahoo!
It's time to make potato chips. Those are good words to say.
I love it.
So okay, so now we let those soak for about an hour in the water vinegar mixture, and then I drain them again like we've done before. At that point you can let them hang out in the water for quite a while if you're not ready to fry them quite yet. I'd say 2-3 hours would be okay.
Yeah.
But
You don't want to have them sitting out for a while without being in the water, because then they start to turn brown.
Yeah, they oxidize and they get brownish, so that we don't want that. So, yeah, I've got some oil right here. I'm just using a good old pot that I've got, good old sturdy pot that you could use a deep fryer if you have, but you want to use some oil that can handle high heat. So I would recommend sunflower oil is what I'm using here. Peanut oil is really good. You could use canola oil, and you could use vegetable oil in a pinch. That's no problem. I've got my temperature set to 350 degrees. If you have a thermometer to monitor that is ideal.
Mm-hmm.
So these are, as I mentioned, these are super, super dry, and that is probably the most important thing of everything that we're doing
no
here.
water.
So you tell them how we do
Yeah,
that while
you
I
fry those
these.
up. Oh yes, okay, here we go, people.
Oh,
All right.
and just so you know, when
Yeah.
these go in, the temperature of the oil is going to go down, so you'll want to crank your heat back up just to try to monitor that. Try to keep it at 350 as much as possible.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I've got a dry kitchen towel. I'm just placing these out on my kitchen towel, just as many as I think I can get on here. And I'm just gonna put these on here, and I'm gonna do a quick dry with the kitchen towel here. I'm just like, oh, this kitchen towel.
So you can, you obviously...
And I like to lay them flat because I don't like to bend them. I like a nice long chip.
Yeah. Well, then they kind of curl and do their own little thing when they're frying. But you definitely want to do these in batches. They only fry for like 3 to 5 minutes, so it doesn't take long at all. And that's perfect. And it's great if you got a loon that you can work as a team together.
I'm doing this. I'm making total sure that these are dry, so I'm just giving them a wipe real quick
with a paper towel.
And I'm just going to sit them right here for Chris.
If you don't have a handy, clean kitchen towel, you can use paper towels. That'll work too.
Totally.
So now what we're doing here, a lot of times you'll see when you deep fry something, you drain them on paper towels. We're not going to do that with these chips. We want the air underneath to kind of, if you put them on you don't want them to get greasy, because then that makes them soggy and they lose that crunch.
Nobody likes the soggy chip.
They don't.
Don't invite the soggy chip to the party.
I know. Talk about a downer.
Like, wah, wah.
Such a downer. So what I've got here is I've got a baking sheet that I've lined with foil, and that just makes cleanup easier. And then I put a baking rack on top of that, and we'll just, and the awesome thing about these also, you can make these hours in advance. Chips, you don't need to serve warm. That'd be kind of weird. I mean, they're tasty when they're warm.
Yeah, I have actually had chips warm.
They are.
And at I don't know, where was that? It was like a gastro pub somewhere. And they served them warm. I liked it.
They're good. They're good.
But you don't need to do that.
These are so good. They're so addictive.
Yeah.
I mean, we made a giant batch the other day and literally ate them within 2 hours.
And then there was a few left over that we put into a paper bag because that keeps them crispy. And I ate them the next morning.
yeah, for breakfast.
They were still super
along with
crunchy.
that Cajun remoulade, and I tell you. So these, we're really
I was feeling it for the rest of the day.
Yeah. So these are getting close. So we're gonna let him continue to dry.
Yep.
And then we're getting so close.
I know.
Okay, so these are good.
Oh.
See, they're just, we don't want to get them too dark brown. Some may go a little quicker than others.
So just fish them out.
Just, if you think, oh, that one's getting kind of dark, then just go ahead and take that out. I'm using my trusty spider right here. You could use a slotted spoon, that will work. But these do not take long, and they are so crispy, I can already tell. Now,
Yep.
Wesley's going to...
Very important part. Hit them with some salt immediately after the frying.
You want to do it right when they come out of the fryer because when the oil is still there.
And this is fine sea salt.
Fine sea salt. You could just use regular salt, but fine sea salt I think has a really wonderful, wonderful texture.
Yes.
Okay, so now we got more chips to fry.
I know. I'm just gonna sit here and dry.
I know it's good. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. Okay. Yay! Almost done. And look at that.
Those are gorgeous.
That is beautiful. Just a humble little potato can transform into something so gorgeous and yummy, yummy, yummy. So
Idaho's own.
Huh?
Idaho's own.
Idaho's own.
That's a potato.
Yes, I know. I gotcha. So anyway, we're gonna just finish this off. Now I've got a little coarse
sea salt.
Finishing salt, like Maldone's is good. You don't have to do this, but it just it gives it kind of that little fancy touch to it.
Yum!
And,
all right.
All right. So
Let's dig in.
We got our Cajun remoulade.
I need the perfect one for my perfect crunch shot.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, I've got my remoulade here. Oh, you guys.
Give everyone their own bowl. I mean, you put this out on game day.
That is the bomb.
All right. Oh, those chips.
I just said that is the bomb.
I say that all the time.
I know, and I make fun of you.
Yeah, I know you do. This is phenomenal, you guys. It's so much fun. And the cool thing is, if you got friends coming over, you can make these way in advance. I mean, we've been making them for a while now, and they're still good. Even 2 days later.
Just put them in a paper bag.
So if you follow those rules, you will get crispy. That is so good. Chips.
Yeah, make this remoulade. Make these chips. They are amazing.
There was a couple things I was going to say. If you like them thicker, you can do them on a thicker setting on your mandolin, but the thin is really good.
And these are like 5 million% luteproof. They're so good.
Humble little potato chip.
I can just eat these all day.
And you will. You'll never. I'm telling you, you'll be saying like, I can't ever buy the bag variety again. All right, we love you guys. You're a chip above the rest.
Block. What? Chip off the shoulder.
Anyway,
We love you.
hilarious. Bye, you guys. We love you.